Good evening, everyone. So, with the funeral today and the cremation of Jonathan Lim, we mourn for his life and also we want to celebrate it. And this eulogy serves as a celebration of the end of an era in Supernatural Confessions as we move towards the next chapter, which I know that's what he would want of us. May not be better, but will definitely be different. And I believe that he would want the best for us as we explore new grounds, new ideas, and just do what Jonathan would have done in this case. Be creative. So this is my eulogy that I've written for him, and it was an honor and a privilege to be able to share it with you and the family, and also to thank Jonathan Lim's family for allowing me and inviting me to give this eulogy. The eulogy of the talented Mr. Jonathan Lim. Many of you know him from theatre, but not many people know that he's also the host of Supernatural Confessions for the past 5 years. My friendship with John began in 2019 when he called me up one afternoon and introduced himself as just John, the director of an upcoming immersive Halloween experience called Cursed, and he wanted to promote it on my Supernatural Confessions channel. I said, well, let's talk. We scheduled to meet at the Central Landing Library at Bugis, Bras Basah. And when I saw him, I realized he wasn't just a John. He was the Jonathan Lim of Chestnuts fame. And I was such a fan, I had my fanboy moment. But he was so humble. We started chatting, and that's when I realized that he also has deep interest in the supernatural and had written a book titled Between Gods and Ghosts. We spent hours talking about ghosts, Hantu lore, and horror movies. And in John, I found more than a friend. I found a partner who was able to match me in all these crazy ideas and the energy. And not just coming up with ideas, but the ability to turn them to reality and bring these projects to life. Unfortunately for both of us, John and I, we were more of an artist than businessman, and we were more contented with the creation than the revenue that some of these ideas generated, or not. My wife commented on a few occasions that I spend more time with John than I do with her. For example, Friday nights, 2 hours of live show and 2 hours of prep before the live show. And on Saturday, I'll meet him at 6, we'll have dinner, and then we'll walk Changi all the way till sometimes past midnight. So these days were non-negotiable and untouchable. It was for John and I and for the Supernatural Confessions community. And then there was also the occasional horror movie dates. The horror movie would last 90 minutes, 2 hours tops. But the conversations John and I have after the movie, those could last for hours. A fan commented on a recent video that I put up a few days ago that if I was the face and the house of Supernatural Confessions, then John must be the voice and the flavor. That sums up the chemistry that we had, and it's apparent in all the content that we put out. But this chemistry did not magically come out of nowhere. Behind the scenes, John and I had multiple heated arguments while working together in the early days, but none of them personal. They were only about the project and for the greatest good that we can bring to the community. I would look at the big picture and he would take care of the finer details. Sometimes you'll be up at 2 a.m. in the wee hours of the morning and we'll be on a call talking about the production of a show or a tour we're going to do. And he will be hung up on those very small, minute details. And I will be banging the table saying, it doesn't matter. And he would bang the table in return and yell, everything matters. Everything matters. And most times, John is right. And I have learned so much from him. Sometimes I'm right. And those few times that I'm right, I never fail to rub it in his face. And he's always been a good sport. That's the person that Jonathan Lim is, or was. He cared for the things that others took for granted. But these small things make the biggest difference. It was always about creating the best experience for our fans, our audience, and our community. John and I were two sides of the same coin. He held me to his very high standards and made sure I'm accountable for mine. And somewhere in there, we found a sweet spot that kept this coin spinning. Our chemistry produced shows like Ghost Mortem, Friday Night Live, The Live Show, and Walk with Hantu. And in fact, the community even dubbed us the ministers of MSA, the Ministry of Supernatural Affairs, because of John's love for everything in this walk of life, maybe humans, animal, plants, and that also includes the unseen, Hantu, our friends, as he would call them. John left behind a very large shoe to fill, but I know he would want me to continue doing what we had planned to do. I can already hear his voice saying, the show must go on. The best way I know John would want me to honor his legacy is to keep on putting out the best work out there. Content that would meet his approval, to which he would reply, "Wow, this one shook, damn shook." Last year, on one of the live podcasts, we joked that whoever dies first, we have a responsibility to come back and tell the other what it's like on the other side. And I asked him what he would like us to offer him when he's gone. And he just laughed and said, "Give me good food." So John, at your funeral, I did not buy you any flowers or give you any wreath because I know how much you hate vegetables. So instead, I bought you your favorite sambal kangkong, the only vegetable that you take. And signing out, ladies and gentlemen, for the final time, is my co-host, the man before time, the immortal Jonathan Lim. And with that, we come to the end of an era. What's happening next? I don't know. But I'm sure it's going to be exciting and full of adventures for me and for you, the Supernatural Confessions community. Thank you, good night, and God bless. What did you find? You are listening to Supernatural Confessions.